They love John McCain.
The mainstream media endorsement is not part of Mitt Romney's strategy. He's not counting on them to get him anywhere. He's counting on the money that he's raised, his own money that he puts into it, which, as we know, is
substantial.
Not unlimited, but it's more than anybody else is going to have. And he's counting on organization.
Is it fair that we have, just in general, totally apart from Mitt Romney, is it fair that candidates that are not multimillionaires have to raise money, have to get support, have to get the American people behind their campaign to get the money to run for president, and a guy like Mitt Romney simply writes a check?
Well, first of all, Mitt Romney has had an extraordinary, successful year raising money. He has raised a ton of money that is not his own. Now, he's put, I think the last figures were $24 million of his own money into it, and he's going to
put
probably
half
a little bit
of
more.
His stack.
No. He's upwards close to $100 million now.
Okay, a quarter of his stack.
And he has the ability to put more in. You know, there's this pesky little thing called the First Amendment. I just don't know how you're going to tell somebody that they can't put their own money into a campaign, that's theirs. Is it better to put your own money into it, or is it better to be beholden to special interest groups who are giving you the money?
I think it's a pesky little thing called democracy, and I would say that we don't have the candidate put their money in, and we don't have special interests do it. We do something that they've done in Europe for 50 years now, Mike. It's called public financing, and here's my proposal, all right?
All right.
Instead of having, because you could argue, well, but how much does the government give? Does it give equally to the Green Party, to the Libertarian Party, to the American Nazi Party? I mean, here's an easy answer. The government gives every American voter, every American citizen, a number. Let's say $50, okay? And that citizen can direct they can't keep the money. Okay, it's paper money to them. They can direct where that $50 goes. They can send that $50 to Hillary Clinton, to Mitt Romney, to Ron Paul, or to no one, or to the Green Party candidate, the Libertarian Party candidate, and then the government writes a check for that person. By doing that, the American people get to decide who's popular, who's not popular, get to decide where money goes and where money doesn't go, and the candidates themselves don't get a step up just because they're rich, like Mitt Romney.
Okay, well, the Supreme Court has decided that that's not a viable thing. They've already
we haven't tried this. They haven't tried the Mark Levine plan.
Well, they haven't tried the Mark Levine plan, but what the Supreme Court has said is that, spending on political campaigns is a free speech issue.
But there's an easy way out of it. Here's what you do.
You amend the Constitution?
No. You don't need to amend the Constitution.
Spoken like a true Democrat.
You don't need to amend the Constitution. Hey, you know me. I got my Constitution in my pocket, Mike. I think it's pretty good as it is. No. Here's what you do. You make the money enough. Let's say it's $100 per American citizen. We don't even need that much. Let's see. There's 200 and...
Let's take 10. Whatever you want to do.
Even if it's 10, that's 300 million Americans, maybe half don't participate. It's enough money at $1.5 billion. It's enough money to go around that you say to the candidate that you can't spend your own money if you accept the public funds. Now, if you refuse the public funds, which is your right, you can spend whatever you want. But if the public funding gets a candidate $300 million, and even Mitt Romney can only afford to put in $24 million, guess what? They're going to go for the public financing. We do no harm to the First Amendment, but we protect equal votes, which to me is all what America is about. Not $1, one vote, one person, one vote.
Well, the Constitution guarantees one person, one vote. It does not guarantee everybody will get a $50 or a $25 check from the government to give to the candidate of their choice. The difficulty with what you've done is both parties have eschewed public financing.
Only because it's too low.
None of the well, because
they didn't used to.
Because the American people have the ability to voluntarily hit that $3 check off on their thing.
Yeah, but the American people they don't know what it means. The American people don't know what that check off. They don't know what it means.
Years, Mark. Of course they know what it means.
Our listeners, I guarantee you, people think they're paying $3 extra in taxes. They don't. And folks, when you hit the check off box, which I support, you do not pay a penny extra in tax.